Hi everybody, today we are going to finish with the second and the third stage of the Russian Revolution. If you remember, we finished in our last presentation with Vladimir Lenin and the attempt to overthrow the provisional government Milenkov and Kerensky. Well, in this second stage, as we said before, Vladimir Lenin appeared and he stirred up the masses in order to obviously overthrow the provisional government. In July 1917, soldiers from the Red Guard occupied public buildings and wanted to overthrow Milenkov and Kerensky. But the provisional government still had loyal soldiers. These loyal soldiers arrested the leaders of the movement, among them Vladimir Lenin, and obviously Lenin was protected and he escaped to Finland. He wasn't arrested because he could escape to Finland. As a result of this problem, this movement of the provisional government against the revolutionaries, the Bolsheviks grew in popularity in Russia. In this second stage, we are going to talk about the real Russian Revolution, which happened. It is called the October Revolution, but it started on November the 7th, 1917. What happened with this movement? Remember, Lenin was in Finland. From Finland, throughout September, Lenin wrote to the Bolsheviks leaders in Soviet Petrograd, saying, for example, that history will not forgive if we do not take power now. Remember that Lenin belonged to the Bolsheviks, and the Bolsheviks were absolutely sure that Russia was ready for a revolution. So the Bolsheviks, were supported in this case by the soldiers. All the soldiers supported because the soldiers were fed up with the food shortage and the problems they were facing in the war. So on October the 24th, the Red Guard on Leon Trotsky, that is another man who appeared, remember Leon Trotsky, on Leon Trotsky orders, took over the key point in Petrograd. That is to say, the public buildings and all the key points. When Kerensky and Milenkov realized that all the soldiers were with these revolutionaries, they decided to escape. Kerensky, for example, escaped in an American embassy car looking for help, but without much success. And obviously, you know what happened to the leaders of the Duma. They were arrested by the revolutionaries. Then, after this event, a week after, that is to say, approximately on October the 31st, they took power, and obviously they started to promise what, or better said, they started to fulfill what they had promised. And one of the things the Bolsheviks promised were elections. So elections were held when the Bolsheviks took the power. November the 7th, 1917, the Bolsheviks took the power and organized elections. 30 million Russians participated in these elections, and two political parties took part of the elections: the Social Democrats and the Bolsheviks. Remember that the Social Democrats were the peasant party, and the Bolsheviks were the party of the proletariat. There was obviously a belief that the Bolsheviks, who had grown in popularity, were going to win the elections. But to the surprise of the Bolsheviks and the Russians, the ones who won the election were the Social Democrats. 21 million votes went for the peasant party. Why? Because at that time, Russia was still an agricultural country. So at this surprise, Lenin said that the Social Democrats were a party of the past because Russia was beginning to be industrialized. So he did not respect the results of the elections, and he decided to dissolve the Duma.